Nonprofit Visionaries. It has been a moment since I last sent out a message to you all. Forgive me, but life, right? Because life. But I'm back, and today I wanted to just leave you with a little short message around starting a nonprofit. So listen, everything does not have to be a nonprofit. And I know when we talk about passion and wanting to give back and wanting to be a light in the world and all of those great things, especially for populations who we consider to be under resourced or, at risk or whatever, what may have you, okay? But I challenge you to just really think about what it is that you're working to do. And if it really has to be a nonprofit, most times, let's get real. Hashtag nonprofit, no filter, because I'm not gonna sugarcoat anything. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm gonna say some things that maybe other folks or coaches don't say, because I want you to be the best version of yourself. I want you to be equipped, and I want you to be prepared. Okay, so most of us who start out doing nonprofits are coming from a place of either pain or of trauma or of something happening to us and in our childhood and our early adulthood and our adulthood, something we might be going through right now. And we say, you know what, we want to help other people who are going through our situation in some way, shape, or form. So it comes from us, internal, from a place that we can relate to. And if it's not us that is going through whatever the situation is, it's somebody we care about, a family member, a friend, but we are tied to it personally. And that is why we move about in the world wanting to help other people, mostly by starting nonprofits initially and wanting to then have a social good attached to it. So let's just start there. So, it's natural for us to want to say, okay, well, this must be a nonprofit organization, because I'm giving back, because it's something that happened to me or something I care about, or someone I cared about. And I'm here to tell you that that's all well and good, but you can also be an entrepreneur and have a social cause or a social focus attached to your business as well. And a lot of times when we start these nonprofits, we are in places where we're coming from financial lack, okay? And that's another issue, or another, I guess, something that you can take into consideration, or that influences our success a lot of times with our nonprofits. Because for most of my nonprofit visionaries, you don't have a situation where you can work for free, or your significant other or your partner is carrying the load, or you're retired now and you don't need any income and you can just work for free and give back to the world and volunteer all your time, no sweat off your back. Most of us are not coming from that place. We ourselves are coming from a place of, we need to have our stuff together. We've got families we have to pay for. We've got maybe some financial things. We don't have money stacked up in the bank, just waiting to pour into a nonprofit organization. That is, we don't have that, right? We broke. A lot of us are broke. You broke, and it's okay, right? When it comes to, when we say broke, I mean, not like we out here, can't make it, you know what I'm saying? But you get what I'm saying. We are coming from a broke place, from a place, and it can mean a couple different things: financially, emotionally, traumatically. We are individuals trying to do this work in the world, but we can't leave ourselves out of it when we're doing it and pretend like those things do not make a difference or they don't influence our work, because it's not true. It does influence our work. So I say this to say that if you have an idea that can be monetized in one way, shape, or form, and it's still helping people, don't necessarily jump to nonprofit. People think, okay, well, I want public money. I want grant dollars. I don't want to work that hard for the money. It's easier to get grant dollars for nonprofit. And I'm going to tell you, even though there's way more money and different pots of money for nonprofit endeavors and, funders and things, it is just as hard to get dollars from that traditional sort of way of getting money from funders, from foundations for a nonprofit organization, as it is trying to get traditional funding for a LLC. So if when you're going into this, come from your vision, from a place of your vision that you want to see manifested, but not at, oh, don't make the determination based off of how easy you think it is to get money, because it's not going to be easy either way. Now there's strategies and there's things that you can do, and that's why I'm a nonprofit coach, because I know how to get to the funds regardless of whether it's nonprofit, for profit, whatever the situation is. But it's still going to require, you to be performing at your highest. It's still going to require some work. It's still going to require you to apply yourself. Okay. So I just want to put that out there. When you're thinking about your vision and manifesting it, think about it in terms of what makes the better sense. Now, I just had a client reach out to me, a potential client reach out to me about, an idea. She's is pretty much building her own brand, and she wanted it to be a nonprofit. She just so happened to be helping other people and blogging and, building a website with information and wanting to build up her followers and things like that. And in that circumstance, I'm like, okay, well, this doesn't sound like a nonprofit to me. This sounds like a for-profit. You should be looking into, okay, this is your brand, and your brand is going to be with you regardless of what you do. Whether you decide to do a nonprofit or for-profit, you start with your brand first, because that's you. You can't take yourself out of your business endeavor, right? So she's building her brand. And although the people that she is reaching out to, or, is her audience may not be rich or, what have you, her business model should be more of an LLC instead of a nonprofit. And one thing that she said to me was, well, I never thought I was that smart. Or I never thought, I didn't think, me run a business, I can't, who's gonna listen to me? Okay. So, and I can relate to her, right? Not now, but before, when I first started my business, my nonprofit, I had those same thoughts. I'm sure you've had those same thoughts. Okay, well, who's going to really listen to me? Who's really going to support me? Who's going to be behind me? How am I going to do this? And what I told her was, don't underestimate yourself. And stop underestimating yourself. If you don't believe in you, how can you expect anybody else to believe in you? Whether it's the people that you're trying to help, if you are wanting to start a health-related organization and you're not healthy, right? You're preaching at people. You're trying to motivate people when you're not motivated, when you're not empowered, when you're not taking care of yourself, when you aren't the best version of yourself. And that leads me into, before you start thinking about, or maybe while you start thinking about a nonprofit or for-profit, build yourself up. Work on you. Because a lot of times people will come and they'll say, I want to do ABN, I want to do this nonprofit, I want to do this, I want to help, blah, blah, blah. Taking the focus off of themselves. Does that sound familiar? I know it sounds familiar to me. I know that most of my adult life and my careers have been being busy to keep my mind off of me or my issues or things that I might be working with. And so I pour my heart and my soul into my passion. And that keeps me distracted from my personal development. And anytime I overcome something or I encounter an issue or a barrier in my business, it's always external. It's why that person do that? Or why are these people this way? Or why is this happening to me? Why? This is wrong. This is crazy. Removing myself from the situation when I was the common denominator. And I was so busy helping other people with their problems that I did not take time to solve my own. And I don't want you to do that. I want your business or your nonprofit to be thriving, to be an external manifestation of how you feel internally. If you are not sound in who you are, or understanding who you are now, as you embark upon this, it is going to bleed out into everything you do. It is going to bleed into your nonprofit. It is going to bleed into your for-profit, because it's you, right? There's no way you can remove yourself personally from your business endeavors. You are, how you do one thing is how you do everything. And I have argued with people, healthy, healthy debate, because I can argue, but healthy debate about that. People think, oh, I'm one way at work and I'm this other way at home. Yeah, maybe you put the way you handle yourself externally, maybe you may switch that up. We have to be chameleons. We have to code switch. Yes, sometimes. That is very true. It is all a part of you. It is all a different part of you. It's not like you're being inauthentic sometimes. Maybe you are. But you are still the issues. When I say the way you do one thing is how you do everything, is if you can't communicate with your children, or you're having issues communicating with your spouse at home, those same communication issues are going to be showing up at work, with your staff, with your supervisor, with your colleagues. That's what I mean. And it all stems, you are the common denominator. And if you don't get at your personal development around why your communication sucks, or what are you contributing to the situation that's making it the way it is, it will bleed into everything you do. And I want this journey to be as enlightening, but also free from unnecessary issues as possible. Okay? So that's your nonprofit coach, your nonprofitista, trying to give you a little bit, drop some gems, right? Because we may know this, we may know it, but we don't know it. And so we don't busy yourself with being distracted with a nonprofit or with a business endeavor, hoping that distraction is going to heal you, because it's not. You have to do the very real work of healing yourself, unpacking your own trauma, unpacking your own stuff. And somebody else's stuff may not be your stuff. It's not a competition. It's not who's had the biggest stuff or the worst stuff or the worst life. Your issue might be you went to an Ivy League school and you didn't feel you needed to go there, and that wasn't the fit for you. And there's a whole bunch of stuff wrapped up and balled up in that, and how you talk about yourself and how you think about yourself. That might be your issue. Somebody else's issue might be that their parents were killed in a car crash when they were young, and they bounced back and forth to family members, and then they ended up getting divorced. Trauma is trauma, and it affects you the same way, regardless of the story behind it. So it's not about a competition about, oh, I don't have to deal with that because my stuff, I don't have stuff like that. Everybody has stuff. Deal with your stuff, right? Build yourself up. Mindset training, personal development training, pour into yourself, invest in yourself. I know, I went through a program. It's not the only program, so do your own research. But when I got tired of hitting a ceiling in my business and my personal life, I was like, okay, maybe it's time for me to turn the camera inside, inward on me, and see what's going on in here, Shalita, that I need to work through. And when I did that, I went through a program called Momentum Education. And it was unlike it wasn't like a professional training. I thought, and my friend, told me about it, I thought it was like I've been through so many trainings, so many leadership development programs, so many, whatever. This was not that. Let me tell you, I got vulnerable. You have to get vulnerable. But when you do it in a room full of other people who are also getting vulnerable, it's a breath of fresh air. Because everybody, has this air sometimes of needing to be superficial in life. Like, you can't really be your real self because people aren't going to like you, or people are going to try to hurt you or harm you, or blah, 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 blah. Another story we make up. Being able to be vulnerable in that space was very powerful. And it helped me to start changing some things and seeing things differently. Things people probably done told me, Shalita, you need to look at how you communicate. Shalita, blah, blah, blah. Oh, okay, whatever. It went one in one ear and out the other until I was ready to look at my stuff. And when I started looking at it, I was like, oh, that's what they meant. Okay. But not only did it help me personally in my personal life and my relationship with my son, my husband, the people I care about, but it also helped me in my communication in other ways in my businesses, and how I communicated with my team, and how I was able to look at things from different perspectives without attaching meaning to it. It really helped me to start looking at myself differently, and I interact with people differently. It's a journey. It's something that You're always becoming, you're always changing. You should always be doing that as long as you're alive, learning, changing, transforming. But at least having tools to when certain things start to, either habits or beliefs or whatever start to resurface, I have a toolbox that I can, shift and start to look at things differently. And that has been such a blessing for my businesses. So this video was really just about to get you to start thinking differently about whether you want to start a nonprofit, for profit, and then what type of person are you going to be in your business? Because if you don't like to communicate, or if you're not good at communicating, or if everybody, we all have our little quirks and things like that, but you need to be aware of what those things are, because it can affect your business on a positive note or a negative note, whether it is a for-profit or nonprofit. The tax code is different. What they're considered by the government are different. The different classifications of nonprofit, for-profit, but the way you run it and how you show up in it, you are the common denominator. So get yourself some mindset training. Put your affirmations on the wall. If you're going to start a nonprofit and that's what you want to do, then you need to get my Nonprofit Visionary Toolkit, because it has a vision board in there with affirmation cards just to remind you of who you are and why you're doing this work. And you can envision where you want it to go and help you to also see, this is where I want my nonprofit to go. Who do I have to be? Right? My authentic self. Who do I have to be in order for this vision to unfold properly? Okay? All right. So if you need additional support, you can always find out more information on how I can support you at my website, ShalitaO'Neal.com. I'll put the link below. Also, subscribe to my YouTube channel, please. I have a lot of videos on there about the different aspects of starting a nonprofit, building a nonprofit, and just hashtag nonprofit no filter, being real with you. So please subscribe. Also share it with your friends, family, colleagues. Please don't keep me a secret. If you see a video that you enjoy, like it. Number one, if this is one of them, like the video. Don't be shy. Just all you gotta do is ping this. Just like it. Just press the button. Like the button. Just push that button. Okay? And then you push the other button and you subscribe. And then you push the other button and then you share. And then everybody else can do the same thing, right? Okay? All right, y'all. Well, y'all know I love you. Y'all know I believe in you. I want to see your vision come to life, and I want you to be the best version of yourself while you're doing it, because I tell you, there is no feeling like it. It is amazing. I'm here if you need me. Shalita, the nonprofit Easter O'Neal, ShalitaO'Neal.com. Find me on YouTube. Until next time, be blessed.